Ever wondered how a single missile strike could ignite an entire region into chaos? In 2025, Israel and Iran find themselves at the center of a dangerously escalating confrontation. From cyberattacks to drone warfare, the tension is no longer simmering, it's boiling. So the big question is, are we truly on the edge of a full-scale regional war? In this video, we explore the latest military escalations, digital warfare, and strategic shifts that are pushing the Middle East closer to conflict. Why is this happening now? Number one is, what triggered the latest flare-up? This current wave of hostilities kicked off with a mysterious drone attack inside Iranian territory, allegedly linked to Israel. The target? A sensitive military facility. Iran's response was swift, launching missile strikes near Israeli border posts. Simultaneously, Iranian-backed groups in Syria and Lebanon started shelling Israeli positions, prompting counterattacks. These tit-for-tat exchanges have since expanded, with both sides trading aerial assaults and cyber strikes. The chain reaction continues, and with every new blow, the chances of miscalculation grow. The situation has now evolved beyond a border dispute. It's become a multi-theater conflict zone. Are we watching the early chapters of a much larger war? Number two is the nuclear factor. Energy development in the region continues to be a topic of international attention. Iran states that its nuclear efforts are focused on peaceful applications, such as energy production and scientific advancement. In 2025, a global agreement helped guide this process with international cooperation. Later, changes in participation, including the U.S. stepping back in 2018, brought renewed global interest to the issue. Since then, reports have highlighted ongoing progress in the field. Countries in the region, including Israel, have voiced their views and followed developments closely. As of 2025, international organizations continue to observe the situation, encouraging dialogue and transparency to ensure regional stability. Have cyber operations changed the game? Absolutely. This war isn't just being fought with missiles. Iran has increasingly turned to cyber attacks to hit Israeli infrastructure, including energy grids, hospitals, and public services. Israel, known globally for its elite cyber units and file, has responded with sophisticated digital strikes targeting Iranian missile systems and power networks. Recently, there have even been reports of drone-delivered malware, blurring the lines between kinetic and cyber warfare. What makes this dangerous is that cyber operations are stealthy and hard to attribute, raising the chance of overreaction. A misidentified hacker group could spark a real-world war. As both nations invest heavily in digital arsenals, cyberspace may become the first battleground in future escalations. Number four is global perspectives on regional developments. International actors are closely monitoring developments in the Middle East. The United States maintains strong diplomatic and security ties with Israel while seeking to promote stability in the region. So, Russia, with an established presence in Syria, has expressed concern over nearby military activity. China, though officially neutral, continues to expand its economic and diplomatic engagement with Iran. European nations remain divided. Some emphasize dialogue and negotiation, while others consider broader policy measures. In the Gulf, countries like Saudi Arabia and the UAE are following the situation with caution, aware of the potential impact on their own security. Overall, the region remains complex, with global powers responding based on their strategic interests and priorities. What about Israel's military readiness? Israel is preparing for all scenarios. Military drills are being conducted across the country, and the Iron Dome defense system is being repositioned near northern borders. The Israeli Air Force is launching frequent operations over Syria, while cyber command units have moved into high alert. The government has quietly mobilized select reserve units, and intelligence agencies are on 24/7 operations. Strategically, Israel is signaling that it's not just prepared to defend, but to go on the offensive if provoked. Its deterrence doctrine relies on a rapid, disproportionate response meant to shock adversaries into silence. But that strategy also risks escalation if Iran or its allies decide to test Israel's limits. Number 6 is diplomacy still possible, or is it too late? There are still faint signs of hope. U.S. and European diplomats are working back channels through Oman, Switzerland, and Qatar. Quiet efforts at prisoner swaps and regional ceasefires have gained traction. Iran's foreign ministry has even floated the idea of revisiting aspects of the 2015 nuclear deal. However, Israel remains skeptical of any agreements that don't include hard restrictions on Iran's regional proxies. New political leadership in both countries is taking harder stances, which could close diplomatic windows. Still, many believe that dialogue, even if secret, is crucial to preventing catastrophe. But the clock is ticking, and each new strike narrows the path to peace. Number 7 is diplomacy still possible, or is it too late? There are still faint signs of hope. U.S. and European diplomats are working back channels through Oman, Switzerland, and Qatar. Quiet efforts at prisoner swaps and regional ceasefires have gained traction. Iran's foreign ministry has even floated the idea of revisiting aspects of the 2015 nuclear deal. However, Israel remains skeptical of any agreements that don't include hard restrictions on Iran's regional proxies. New political leadership in both countries is taking harder stances, which could close diplomatic windows. Still, many believe that dialogue, even if secret, is crucial to preventing catastrophe. But the clock is ticking, and each new strike narrows the path to peace. Final question: what happens next, and how worried should we be? The threat of war is real, but not inevitable. If a proxy group launches a deadly strike on Tel Aviv, or Iran faces a major cyber disaster, it could all spiral within days. Still, in 2025, the Israel-Iran rivalry is a powder keg. It needs only a spark. So the final question remains for all of us: can this be diffused, or are we already too late? Thanks for watching.